All right, everyone, I wanted to help you out in order to prepare for our exam. So I'm going to go run through the perspectives really quickly. Remember, we want to identify the buzzwords as much as possible. So, humanistic, big thing, free will, full potential. It's a super positive way to look at why we do what we do. We want to be our best selves always. Behavioral. The behavioral perspective is about learning, but learning behavior. So we learn by observing other people, like your parents. We learn by associating things, like you hear a song, like every time we touch, I get this feeling. Yeah, you know what I mean? How that reminds me of my high school dance. Or we learn by rewards and punishments. So you do your homework because you get points, or you come home on time so you don't get grounded. So we learn how to behave through the behavioral perspective. Behavioral perspective always must be things we can see. The biological or neuroscience perspective is all things you can hold in your hand. So this is like your brain, your spinal cord, your neurons within you, your chromosomes, all those things we can hold in our hands technically. So therefore it's biological. None of the other perspectives can you hold what it is in your hands. Um, I'm jumping through our slides. All right, the cognitive perspective, that's like up here. It's things that we think about. It's our memory, our processing. It's how we interpret situations. Is dangerous. You might interpret another situation as really fun. It's how we look at the world and think about it in a lot of different ways. So it's all about our thought patterns. That's the big word. All right, the evolutionary perspective, super similar to biological, in it both of them are about our genes, but it's more this time about what we do in order to survive or reproduce, or we inherit these genes from our previous generations. So the evolutionary perspective looks at more about survival of the fittest, why we have what we have based off previous generations. The psychodynamic perspective, think unconscious, behind the scenes, things you are not aware of at all. And so this relates to maybe repressed memories or things that happened during your childhood that you don't remember, but they still play a role. A lot of times we can look at like maybe you were scared by a spider as a little kid, so you continue to be afraid of spiders. Maybe you got bit as a little boy or a little girl, and now you're afraid of dogs and you don't really know why. It's not that you remember it, it's that you aren't really aware of why it's the case. Dreams and hidden meanings are also work with this. All right. Sociocultural. This is what happens around us. We behave that way. We dress like the people around us. We talk like the people around us. Think of someone down from Florida and how they might have a Southern accent, how you have a Chicago accent, and the New Yorkers with their New York accent. I'm working on my accent game if you guys haven't heard. Voot, anybody? All right. So I'm going to put this up right now for you guys to look at. But again, behavioral, reinforcement, punishment, observing. Cognitive is our thinking. It's not brain. It's not biological. It's our thinking. Humanistic is I decide what I do and I want to be the best, full potential. Psychodynamic is unconscious, things behind the scenes that we're not aware of. Sociocultural is the things around us and how they influence us. It kind of works very closely with behavioral. They kind of work as the same. And then evolutionary, how do we survive? Natural selection. Why are we here the way we are? Because the past generations died off when they didn't have the traits that we did, is the idea. All right, I hope this helps. Best of luck. Let me know if you guys need anything. All right, have a great night.